All right, today we got a little stack to review comics that we got done this week. A little variety of a couple new ones, and a bunch of ones that I picked up at that 50-cent deal, I think, which was also another 20% off or whatever. So I got it for like 40 cents a comic. But we've been happy with most of them that we've read so far. We're going to start out with a new one. We got Alice Cooper, issue 4. This is the penultimate, I believe. I believe there's only one issue left. And we see Alice getting all primed, ready for the battle. And Lucifer all set up, ready for the battle. They do a simple, quick battle where you really don't see much of the action happening, which I was kind of surprised. It's like as you read it, you find out that they battled, but you don't really see them battling it out in the first round. So it was kind of confusing that they didn't have each. They basically made it look like they were each playing to the audiences, but you didn't really see a concert set up and see them actually playing out the music. But Alice pretty much prevails over the first round, and then we're going to take the battle to a different area, which I'm guessing is going to include a lot of demons, and we'll see what happens with that battle. But yeah, story's still okay, but not as good as the first volume. First volume was way better, but still enjoyable. And we got Creepshow. This is issue 5, so should be the final one. This one had 2 great stories in it. These were really fun. First story is basically about a politician that wants to destroy anything that they don't like. So he goes after comic books, wants to destroy all the comic books. We see this thing that happens, and then there's a comic that comes up called the Pyromaniac Politician. And it's basically he gets sucked into a comic book, and you get to see how he gets punished and tortured and how it's going to turn out for him in the long run. But yeah, that was a fun look at a politician doing stupid stuff and being called for it. Then we got Keep It Fed story, which is your monster under your bed type story, where his kid keeps telling his parents that he's got a monster under his bed, and they won't listen to him or believe him, and they're kind of rude to him. But this monster has to be fed something. So the kid's like, "Well, what do you want? I got a candy bar in the thing, in the cupboard," and uh, he's like, "No, I want something that you really enjoy. I need something that's an item that you cherish a lot, so you can like get the feeling of the kid's memories from eating the item or whatever." But the kid feeds him comic book, and then he just keeps feeding him comics, and eventually his parents like try to destroy all his comics. Both of these stories, they're burning piles of comics, which is just wrong. Yeah, when that happens, there's nothing left for the creature to feed on, so you get to see what happens with the creature under the bed. And it was a fun little twist. And both these stories worked very well together. It was a nice little combination, comic book related. I'd say that was probably my favorite 2 stories out of the whole 5 issues on this volume, but both volumes, wonderful, well done. I still want to catch the Holomax or whatever platform that the Creepshow series is on and see if they're the exact same stories that they're playing or if they do have a twist different between the comic book and the uh, TV series that they have going on. Now we're falling into the older ones. We got Lab Rats #1. The experiment begins. I got a couple of the later issues of this, but I didn't have issue 1, so I haven't read them yet. This is by John Byrne. By looking at the cover and the name, I assumed that maybe they got into some machine, shrunk themselves down, and rats from the laboratory were chasing them around the lab just because of the name. But no, we have a group of characters that basically are put into like VR style game setup, but you can die inside if you get injured inside the game. We've heard this story before, but this one does get played out with a little different twist to it, which is nice. I enjoyed it. We get a little prehistoric thing going on with the game that they get sucked into, and we see what's happening to some of our characters. We lose a character right away in the beginning, so that's a twist. Usually everybody makes it through somehow or some way, but in this one you actually lose people, so it was a interesting first issue. I'm looking forward to coming across the ones I have. I know there was a couple that I had. I don't know how many, but yeah, I just know that I didn't have issue #1, so I was able to pick that up and check it out. Then we got Multiversity #1. This one, can you guess why I bought it? It's got Captain Carrot on the cover. And so I'll pick up anything with Captain Carrot. But these are, I don't know if they're all one issues runs, these Multiversity comics, but I picked up a couple of them. They were all #1s. But yeah, the storyline's really fun. You're seeing like a Superman from a different multiverse. You're getting a variety of characters from the different multiverse, but our Superman here and Captain Carrot are two main figures in this storyline, which I was really happy with. Because a lot of times I'll see a character like Howard the Duck or Captain Carrot, and I just won't get much storyline of those characters in here. But yeah, seeing the different multiversal characters, how they played them back in the 90s and stuff, this was a lot of fun. I like what they did and how they had to deal with their problems and their battles throughout here. But yeah, the Cosmic Neighborhood Watch, basically a band of superheroes that are going through the multiverse trying to save and fix anything that's going on. And it's very well. I thought it was very well done. I enjoyed it a lot. Definitely want to check out some more of those multiversity ones. Um, we were talking about Beetle Bailey not long ago, and I've been coming across a lot of other military goofy newspaper style comics that from my childhood that I remember that I got from my grandpa and stuff from his comic book collection. And this is a big one that I read quite a few different issues of from Sgt Bilko's, and this is Private Doberman, and it's basically a obese private character that isn't too intelligent, but Sergeant Bilko kind of keeps an eye on him. And in this storyline, come mail time, he's the only. Oh yeah, in that picture right there, you can see him. He's the only private and military personnel that got any mail that day. And he just got a ton of mail, and they're like, Sergeant Bilko's trying to figure out why. And then all of a sudden, he comes out with like a bush and a bird house type costume because he's learning how to be a spy on the side, which you usually don't tell a military person if you're in the military and you're trying to learn how to be a better spy. So Sergeant Bilko's like, well, I could probably make money on this because he found out that Private Doberman paid a couple $100s for the spy class, and Sergeant Bilko's thinking he can set up some spy thing and get other people to join in and give him money. And I gotta quit going through these pages. This poor thing is pretty rough. It's falling apart. I don't want to ruin it. But yeah, you basically got generals and privates and all these different people working on this spy story thing that's going on. And it just, cat that's trying to sneak up here. It just was a lot of fun, and seeing the twists and turns and how Sergeant Bilko works with the chef and tells him that this one colonel's coming, and he's an angry colonel, but he was happy when he was there last time at their uh, military base, and uh, got had a apple pie that he just fell in love with. And Sergeant Bilko told the cook that the pies were spy apples, is what they were called. And then they do this whole thing where the cook pays Sergeant Bilko $20 and lets him keep 15 of it as long as he goes into town and gets him some apples. And then he gets apples in this crate that he puts the apples in, say spy apples. And I don't know what the whole concept of the whole apple thing was, but original pie. But this pie, he set that up, and then he kept making more and more money off the chef doing more things for him. But yeah, Private Doberman just keeps working away, ends up working with another general, and tries to figure out the spy thing because he overhears the cook talking about it. And he thinks actual spies instead of spy apples. Yeah, it was a fun story. I liked it. But yeah, if you want another Beetle Bailey style military comic that's even earlier than Beetle Bailey, this is the perfect one for you, and it's done by DC Comics. Check that out. Yeah, I know you're on me, so you got to deal with me moving around. It was your choice. You could stay upstairs by Shelly. All right, we got Spike After the Fall, #1. I'm kind of mad because I seen a bunch of more Spike After the Fall comics yesterday. We stopped at half price books, but I think they had $2 a piece on them, so that's why I didn't pick them up. Uh, whereas this one I got for 50 cents, I believe. But could have paid more for it. I don't know. But it's issue 1, so I figured I'd check it out. This one was very confusing. And we have Spike in kind of a post-apocalyptic style environment. So apparently something happened. We lost to the demons and everything, the vampires and all that. So this is after the fall. Excuse me. And it's done by IDW Comics. We got Lynch. Is that Brian Lynch? Or come on. Yep. Brian Lynch and Franco Uro did this. It's definitely want to find out more about this series. You see Spike kind of leading a group to deal with the menaces that they have around them, and I enjoy that style storyline, the post-apocalyptic stuff. So I definitely want to get more in the head. I'm kind of just trying to kick myself. At least half a dozen of them. It seems like there yesterday, and I could have probably got at least the first 5, and got caught up into the story further and figure out what's going on. But then we got Unexpected, the old DC horror comics. I like picking these up, and this is a interesting story. I'm going to give you a little bit taste of what our little Crypt Keeper character mentions about our story, but they called her Another Shirley Temple, this diminutive, dimpled, darling doll with blonde curls cascading down over her shoulders. Her singing and dancing won the hearts of millions, but her own little heart was weighted with a sorrow that led to a monstrous demonic deed. Actually, demoniac deed. They had it spelled Demoniac, so I guess that's a misprint. Way to go, guys. That would have been Al Case. That was did the writing, art by John Calnan. Don't recognize either one of those names. Colors by Bob LaRose. And editing by Jack C. Harris. I don't recognize those names. But the girl is basically, like they say, Shirley Temple style. She's famous. She's got everything going for her, but she's growing older. And her mother won't let her go. Her mother's obsessed with keeping her doing that part and bringing in the money for the family. So the twists and turns that they uh, put in there are interesting. Fun little horror story. But I liked it. I like picking up all those old horror comics. Yeah, I know. It's annoying that I keep moving around. As we go up in your tower, you'll be way more comfortable. And then the last one we got to talk about this round is Usagi Yojimbo, Ice and Snow, part 4 of 5, penultimate issue. We have Usagi and his cousin still being tracked by this group with our little demon character and the girl that keeps playing her flute. This demon character, he's just being mean to the clan that's following him to do his bidding, and they're all starving. They haven't slept, but they keep battling away. They cross Usagi and his cousin, and I think he's his cousin. And the G character like sends all the people after him, and the ones that don't, the G character takes out. Like, if you aren't going to do what I want you to do, then I'll get rid of you myself. And Usagi and his cousin come across a frozen pond, and they take the battle to that area. And there's a big battle through that, and we get to see whether or not they prevail or if they end up in the drink, and what happens with all the characters along the way. It's a fun story. I'm really enjoying this. I love this G character. I want to see more about them. I want to look into the past. See, there's got to be some past storylines with that character, which I think I've seen that character before, but I'm not positive. I got just too many things that I go through. But yeah, I'm loving these new Usagi Yojimbo runs, and this year's the 40th anniversary, so hopefully there's going to be a lot more fun stuff coming out. But keep checking out the reviews. We'll keep doing them under the color of MS. Audio, video, YouTube, Instagram, maybe TikTok coming up. I'm debating. I haven't downloaded it yet. Debating on getting on that platform and maybe trying some stuff. But see what happens. Keep checking those out. Check out Crimson Color Crimson Color Comic Club. Lots of fun creator interviews and lots of other great episodes. So we'll get back with more of these soon. So keep checking out, watching for them. Rate, review, tell a friend, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll get back with lots more entertainment for you for free. Thanks. Bye.